Well, I'm cooking on our front porch this week on Pole House Black Pot Weekend Getaways. Meatloaf is on the menu. As we try to figure out how to get Leslie from this to something safer. We're converting a truck to a camper, so stick around.
I think they're done, hon.
Well, good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
We are sitting out by actually it's Wade's truck. We got one small problem that's actually a big problem with our setup.
Yeah.
When Leslie goes with us, she can't sleep in the camper. She has to sleep in a tent, and she's basically put us on notice.
She doesn't like
she don't like sleeping in a tent.
not very
I can't
handy.
say I blame
Yeah.
her. We're planning on we're following the ruts. So we got to have this done before we go on our Santa Fe Trail
this
trip.
summer.
This summer. So we're going to make this a bedroom for Leslie.
Yeah. So we got
We got a lot of work to do. For one thing, we got to empty it out, and then we're going to put a bed in there and some other stuff for Leslie.
we're going to make a little platform bed and try to make it work so she has a secure place and out of the rain, easy to set up.
Yeah, easy to set up is good, and not on the ground.
Yeah.
And when you're going out west, there are things like rattlesnakes and scorpions.
Maybe even bears.
Well, and a tent's not going to keep that stuff out. So a bear may not stay out of here, but at least it's a little more protection. So we're going to start off by cleaning out this thing, and we'll talk to you about what we're doing.
All right, we'll be back. Okay, we got all the back of the truck cleaned out, so now next step is to get ready to put the bed in. Now we're going to make basically a platform on this side of the truck, and we're going to use 2x2 framing, and we'll build it up, and we're going to make it all the way over to one side, of course, so Leslie has room to get over on this side to get in and out, and have hopefully she can kind of crawl in and have something to sit on instead of just sitting on the floor. Also, when we put the bed, we can put it all the way. We're going to do it as low as we can to have clearance for her to sit, but as high as we can so we can go over top with the fender well. So then that's not wasted space. We can get the bed all the way over to one side. And then we'll build all that with 2x2 framing, and then we'll come back and cover it with probably 1/2 inch or maybe 1/4 inch plywood, whatever we got on hand to be able to make a platform for her.
We probably ought to thank Craig for the wood.
Yeah, our friend Craig had some extra lumber a while back when he was moving, so we got that, and we'll get that put on. But we're going to do the framing first, and then we're going to come back with the plywood, and then because we've got some 3-inch memory foam insulation that's
Not
3 foot
insulation.
wide. Not insulation, excuse me. 3-inch foam memory mattress.
That's the word I was
put that on top, and it's a 3 foot wide piece that should give enough room to get in and out very, very well. It's have a fairly wide bed, and of course it's going to be too long because it's a standard kind of a bed length, which is I think 72 inches or something like that. But this bed is only 5.5 foot, so we're going to have to cut things down. So Leslie's going to be kind of cramped for length, but you have enough width, but it'll still be pretty comfy for her, I hope. So, okay, we're going to get started. We'll be back.
Better than sleeping in a tent.
That's right.
She's supervising. just go around here and see how my hubby doing. I've been inside working on some videos. Hey, honey. Oh, wow. I like the way it looks.
We're getting there.
Yeah, it is.
I have, let me have the camera real quick.
Okay.
I have, what we did here was we decided to move, get where you can see it. We want to get, we always have kept the Dutch oven cook table right in here, kind of in the back, so it's handy to get in and out. So when we're going out and doing various things, maybe without the camper, all we have to do is just throw a Dutch oven in, and we have all the cooking supplies, our tote, and our fire stuff, charcoal, and a table. So what we did is I went ahead and moved this support far enough forward to be able to put this in, and let me make sure we can shut the door, Angel. Let's shut the tailgates, make sure it'll shut where that is. It should have plenty of room. So we got a little bit of room, don't need a whole lot. That's good. We're gonna clear.
All right.
So basically the top's screwed together. The bottom, I'm gonna mark drill holes, pilot holes, works good. We're using 3-inch screws down through here. We'll screw all this, and then we'll have to take it back out to put the bottom pieces on. And now when we get done putting all the framing together, we're gonna put plywood on this side to cover it up. Then this is gonna stay open in here, so Leslie can put her bag in, or maybe one of them totes. And then this is gonna be closed in here, and underneath here and here. And then we're gonna, I think, put a door here. We have access to a few items that we want to get up here out of the way that we don't use very much. We've got some extra tie downs, tow rope, things like that. And then this back here, you can see, we're gonna leave open so you can slide in the stuff here. We're gonna put we got a tool kit we want to put in here. The Dutch oven cook set goes underneath there. Maybe our charcoal flue and things like that. So once you get the framing all done, make sure it works, goes in and out good, then we'll be able to cut the plywood and get that down and screw down, and then we'll be ready to put our top on. We haven't figured out for sure whether we're going to paint it. Probably just going to paint it black or something, just to, so it doesn't stand out too good at all, and then figure out and put a mattress on top of that. So I think we're coming good, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
All right, I'll get back to work. Here you go, hon.
All right.
I'll get to marking these so I can drill some pilot holes.
Well, I'm gonna go back and work on a video then.
Okay, see you in a bit.
All right.
All right. Well, I think we got the framing done. Look here, it looks pretty solid. Now we've got my measurements made for sure. We'll get our plywood cut, and see if we can get it screwed on, and we'll be close to being done. Okay, we have gotten the frame all put together. It's looking good, and we have our end pieces here and plywood in here to kind of frame this in for this is spot here in the center is going to be where Leslie can put food tote. And then we've got all these pieces cut, plywood to go on the ends, plywood to go up underneath here. And then this front one here, actually, it's going to be a little cubby that we can put things that we don't use very much. And we're gonna, this is going to be actually a door. It's going to go right up there. And then let's see, let's get this pulled up here. And this will wedge, get it put in here real quick. Okay, so that is going to go on top of here, and we'll screw all these pieces down, and then we'll go in here and put in a couple of hinges where this will just flip up here, and then we can get in access to that. I think that'll be the easiest. It won't be hard to roll the corner of the end of the mattress back, or slide the whole thing back a little bit and get access into that panel. So I guess I'm going to go ahead and start screwing on the plywood pieces, and we'll go from there.
Well, Wade's working hot and heavy on the conversion of the camper just right over there, well, of his truck for Leslie. I'm going to fix something that everybody's got their favorite meatloaf recipe, and this is mine, and everybody seems to like it well enough. The only difference is normally it's a 3-meat meatloaf. It's only going to be a 2-meat, mainly because we don't have any venison ground up for it. So I'm going to regroup and then get to it. Okay, you have to have a pretty good pot to do this, and I'm using 2 pounds of meat. This is my ground beef. And normally if Wade was working, I would definitely do a 1/3 pound of meat, so we'd have enough for him to take in his lunch. But since he's not, this is a good recipe. There'll be 1 hunk, and basically it comes out looking like a meatball is the way I fix them. 2 pounds of meat, 2 eggs, about a cup of oats. My Aunt Suzanne, she could actually eat this because I don't put crackers in mine. You know how I'm about onion, so I got me some minced onion. It takes a fair amount of that. And then my seasoned salt. Now I don't want to season it too heavy because that sausage has got quite a bit of salt in it. Then I put a little ketchup. Oh, I'd say about a 1/4 cup of ketchup in there. And I only put a couple teaspoons mustard. A little bit goes a long way, in my opinion. I made 1 meatloaf that I couldn't eat because it had too much mustard in it. About 2 tablespoons. And then a little salsa. About a 1/2 cup. And then you mix it up. Now you know it's all mixed in when you can't see any, when it all looks like 1 kind of meat as opposed to 2 kinds of meat. See? You can't tell there's sausage or beef, either one in there. So I'm gonna go wash my hands and get my Dutch oven ready to go and light my briquettes. Go that way, smoke. Okay, Wade's still working on it, but he's finishing it up for tonight. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this going. I got the briquettes going. I make about a baseball to a softball size meatball. Try to make them as even as possible. Leslie really likes this meatball recipe. Although when she finds the onions from the salsa in there, I usually hear about it, but she just picks them out and goes around. I don't bother me much because they're really cooked, like double cooked. Make sure I get patted in there real good. Now, I have been known to only put 4 around there and then put an onion in the middle, but our onion eater isn't with us anymore, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put one last meatball in the middle. But if you want a really good presentation, I've got a picture of meatloaf made in this very Dutch oven with an onion in the middle, and it sure looked good. Now, I need to go clean my hands again, so I'll be right back. I've got my meatballs, I keep saying meatballs, my meatloaf balls in my Dutch oven. Now, when you're cooking in the oven, a lot of times they'll tell you to put your ketchup on. I don't want it burning on top. And we are going to have to replenish these coals. So I'm hoping when I replenish the coals, we'll just go ahead and put the ketchup on then so it can cook in and get caramelized. But would you looky here? Here comes Wade. How's it going, honey?
Good. Hi, everybody. Oh, so, yeah, you said you're doing meatloaf.
Yes, I am doing
I like these jumbo meatballs.
Well, you've been known to make sandwiches out of them, haven't you?
They still work good for sandwiches, but they cook a lot faster
when they're round.
When they're round like this in one big old loaf. Still take a while, so.
How's the project coming?
I'm just about to a stopping point. I gotta go back, and I didn't have enough hinges.
So you gotta fix those.
So I get some more hinges to put the other part. All the plywood screwed down. We can finish that up, and we can get it back out and paint it and all that.
Yeah, I get to paint it, right?
Probably.
Okay. Well, we're gonna come back. He's gonna go ahead since he's done. Did you get everything cleaned up?
Pretty much got everything cleaned up. I got a couple more things, but I can go ahead and take a break.
You can start doing this.
Charcoal is not quite ready, so.
I can do the charcoal. It's just he does it so much better than I do, and he's got it down to precision. I'm not even sure I counted them right, so we'll see.
Probably did. All right, we'll be back. Charcoal's ready. So, as I get to do this part, since I'm done with my other part for the day, and we're baking, so we're gonna do basically like we normally do, and that's 30 pieces of charcoal for a 12-inch Dutch oven. Should give us a good, nice, hot oven. Now, one thing I'm gonna do different that I normally do when we've been doing baking is normally 1/3, 2/3 for baking. Now, that's especially true and important when you're doing breads, cakes, brownies, biscuits, or something like that, because you got that dry, that liquid that's turning into a cake stuff. So you can get a lot of too much heat on the bottom. Now, with charcoal, you've got, with something like this meatloaf.
Because it's cold.
It's cold, and then you've also got the meat is not as harder to get burnt on the bottom, and you got gap in there too, so a lot of that extra heat is going right to the top of the oven. So rather than putting 10 on the bottom, we're going to put a couple more, so we're probably going to put about 12 on the bottom. Get a little extra heat.
So your ratio is going to be?
Little bit more than, we probably took the regular 30, instead of doing 10 and 12 and 20, we're going to do 12 and 18. So just a little bit more on the bottom. So.
I hear our doggy over here doing something she shouldn't be.
She's probably always doing something she shouldn't be sometimes. She is still a pup. She's only 11 months old. 11 months and 2 days.
No, this is the second.
Yeah, 2 days.
She's
opposed to 1 day.
First.
Yeah.
I guess I'll let you chew on that wood, girl.
But still, we do the same idea, same pattern. We do our nice big bed on the bottom, and then on top, we do
your checkerboard.
Checkerboard, nice big heavy ring, and then we'll do 4 in the middle. So. Now, like Angel said earlier, this is probably going to take a good
hour.
Yeah, 50 minutes to an hour to do meatloaf. So we're going to come back and replenish the charcoal, make sure it gets cooked, and then a little bit later we'll go ahead and add the ketchup on top. Okay, so we got some pretty decent wind blowing around, so what are we going to use? Of course, the wind guard to keep a nice even heat going underneath the Dutch oven.
Well, at least it ain't as windy as it was.
No. Okay, let that cook and we'll be back. Now, because of the long cook time, pushing an hour, we waited 15 minutes instead of our traditional 10-minute time before our first rotate. We rotate it the same way, 1/3 one way and the lid, 1/3 of a turn the other way. Be back in 15 minutes. Okay, it's been 30 minutes. First thing, rotate Dutch oven. Okay. Then the lid. And while I'm going to take the lid off real quick, and we'll put ketchup on, right, Angel?
Right. Now I'm going to come in here.
Let's do that. Take that off. See how she's cooking. Ooh,
oh,
yeah, looking good.
Here, you take this.
Okay.
See the brown bits on there is why I didn't want to put the
she's already cooking
ketchup
good.
on there. Because then it kind of gets it burnt flavored, and I don't like that. All right, now I'm going to do all of them. And a bottle of ketchup like this works so much better. It's getting hard to... And then we're just going to spread it out a little. Now, while he's here, we're also going to light these briquettes. Okay. Here's the lighter, dear.
Okay.
Better put the lid back on.
That'd be a good idea. Before I forget.
We don't want
Our heat.
ashes in it.
Yeah, we want our heat to get back in there too. Now I just did half the number. That we just like we normally do when we're replenishing coals, and that's about 16. I did 15 or 16, something like that. And then we're going to be ready. We'll add them to it, just like the same pattern as we did the first time. So we'll be back. Alright, this meatloaf has been cooking for 1 hour. So we're almost positive that it's done. So I'm going to set it off the coals. And we'll cock the lid off a little bit so it can start resting. And the rest of the supper's ready. We'll go ahead and eat it. Not having other special, we're going to have some broccoli and some rice to go with the meatloaf. So we'll kind of show you how a plate looks when we get it done. We'll be back.
Uh-oh. It's done.
Okay, the last thing I got to do, I think, before we get ready to pull it back out and do a little sanding and painting, is to put the hinges on the front little hideaway door. So I'm gonna get ready to get that done right now. Screws are in on the hinges. Now, see if it works. Not bad. All right. I got a little cubby hole in here. Put a few small things that I'm going to put our tow rope and a few other tools that we don't get to very much. So that when we can take the mattress and just pull the mattress up and you can reach down here. See here I put a 1-inch hole for a finger hole. Reach down and pick it up. I also figured out that I had to go in this corner, if you can see it or not, kind of dark. We have a tie down. I want to have access to that. And then this step came in here for a stake pocket on the side of the bed. I had to cut that out so that it would clear when I raise up the door. There we go. So, I think that's got it. Next step, I think, is going to be to pull the whole thing back out and do a quick little sand and do paint, and then we'll clean the shrapnel out of the back of the bed, vacuum it out, and then we'll be able to put it back in. And we have to cut a mattress because we got a memory foam, just foam, no cover, nothing on it, and that's a standard twin size, which I think is 39 inches wide, and we're only 36 inches wide, and a standard is like 72 inches long for a twin bed, and we're only 5.5 feet, I think 65 inches long. So we'll have to cut the end off of it too, and then we'll lay it down and figure out what kind of a customize. We might have to do some twin sheets to get it on, and this bed will be ready for Leslie. Well, what do you think, Leslie? Think we got it painted?
Yeah, I think we did. Looks nice.
That's good. This, we had leftover paint that we actually painted on the inside of the camper. So figured it's not gonna hurt anything. We'll use that because we had plenty left. Now all I gotta do is let it dry for at least a day before we put it back in the truck. And the only thing we got left to do, Leslie, is we gotta cut down a twin size memory foam mattress down to fit, and we'll be ready for you to go camping with us.
Yep.
All right. Well, we have gotten everything done on Leslie's bed. Yesterday afternoon we painted it, and now it's been a full day. Should be good and dry. And we've got the back of the truck completely cleaned out. And the only thing left to do, of course, is give it a quick vacuum, and we're ready to get it loaded in the back of the truck. Well, that job's done. Only one last thing to do. I'll get Leslie to help me, and we'll get this bed loaded back in the back of the truck. I'll go ahead and look in here. I do.
There's a little bit of room in here. I could put Joey's cot. You know?
We are.
I could put the Jackery over there, and I could put Joey's cot right here.